Hey guys, it's me, CKnightley, and for this video, I'm going to be talking about how to get inspired, how to get your inspiration and your artistic juices flowing. And as you can see, I'm using my light box, the cheap ass one, to ink this character that I drew previously. And if you follow me on Instagram or Tumblr or stuff like that, you're going to see this picture around. Now, when I want to talk about inspiration, how to get it, is you have to first find out, you have to determine if you're being lazy or if you are overworking or working too hard. Because sometimes as an artist, you could be working too hard, and that's why you feel like you're not getting any ideas flowing, because you're already pushing all your ideas out to the foreground. So if you're always doodling or always sketching or always doing some art, always working on art, you may feel like you don't have inspiration because you're already using up all of that energy to create a small little sketch or create a small little doodle. So if you are overworking yourself, you should take back and you should know when you should draw, when you should start working on your art, and how you want to work on your art. Don't be like me and just say, oh, I'm going to draw every single day, do a sketch, do this, and then also work on a masterpiece I'm going to sell on my shop. That's not going to work out. If you're going to try to do this professionally, you're going to burn yourself out. But if you're being lazy, because if you're not drawing, if you're not doing any kind of artwork and you're just being lazy, that's when you know you need to work. If that makes any sense. So after you determine that if you're overworking yourself and burning yourself out or being lazy, that's how you can start finding your inspiration. And to find inspiration, you should look at artists that you like. For me, I look at Keith Haring's work because I really like his simplistic style. And you could also go on Tumblr, read stories that you like and create stories. You should do other kind of art stuff. And you should always get books or watch YouTube videos. There's plenty of artists out on the internet nowadays that you could steal inspiration from. And it's funny that I say steal inspiration. But yeah, that's basically what you're doing. And I do feel that as an artist, you could essentially steal inspiration. And I got that idea more from this book that I read, plus How to Steal Like an Artist. And I'll link it in the description. You should check it out. I'll probably do a review about it, but it was a good book teaching you like how everything in art is copied or stolen from someone else. And I do believe that. I feel like when it comes to art, everything is on the table. You could take anything. But when I say like take anything, I don't mean like just copy and paste their image and put it on your site and say, yeah, I drew this. I mean like take inspiration from them, like see how they did it, see what inspired them, and see what the artist that you like would create, and where they find inspiration, and also get a lot of different sources from it. Just don't take inspiration from one person, or just don't steal from one person. And what else did I want to say? Oh yeah, if you also want to find inspiration, you should also like take a break from art and see if there's any other ways of you to create something. Like if you're multi-talented, like if you sing, dance, or you do anything else that's related to art, or even something that's not related to art, something that you like to do like cooking, you could get inspiration from that. You could just take a break from what you want to do, take a break from your drawing and do something else, and then come back to it. Which I bet this all have been told and said before by other artists, but I guess I want to put my 50 cents into this conversation. I don't give pennies. So you should know when to work and when to play, essentially. And also to get inspired, you should also buy art. Buy art, support artists that you like, join groups. Also, just, I don't know, just get out there, just get inspired and stuff. For this piece, I was inspired by an image that I saw on Tumblr. I forgot the blog name, but I follow a lot of different blogs on Tumblr, and I follow a lot of Black African models, and I love how they look. So I used this guy's image so I could create something new. And for my goal for art, because another thing to get inspired is to have goals for your art. Like, what do you want to say with your art? Now, for me, I want to show a lot more African descendant characters. I want to show a lot of LGBT characters. I want to show a lot of different stuff like that, because that's basically how I represent myself. And I feel like I am working a lot more on that, and I want to get more inspired from my roots and learn a lot more about my culture, more about just the Black experience. And if you don't know what that is, then I don't know what to say. But I want to do a lot more like artwork that showcase a lot more people of color, because growing up I never really saw too many people of color, and when I did, there would be like the token Black character or the token Asian character, or there'll be the token female character in these shows, and it'd be mainly European looking white males. And with my art, I want to show a lot more diversity. I want to show a lot more Blackness. I want to show a lot more of different cultures. And because I do like sci-fi and fantasy, more fantasy, I want to show characters and write stories about my people, essentially, which any artist do. Like, they write stories from their roots, and I want to do the same thing with my art. And that's just how I get my inspiration, because I do have goals for my art, and I know what I want to achieve with my art. A way to have your goals is to know yourself and to know what kind of person you are, what kind of art you want to show to the world. Art have many different layers to it. You have to create things from your mind, and you have to put them onto the page. And a lot of that comes from your outside world. Like, if you don't see what you want to see in the world, you can't create what's in your mind, because you don't see it out in real life. And the way to see what's in your mind, you have to find it. So you have to look at things like that. And I also get inspired by witch stuff. I get inspired by spiritual stuff. I get inspired by, like I said before, Keith Haring's art, and just how his art is also kind of reflecting on the cavemen, indigenous kind of artwork. I like simplicity in artwork. And I feel I want to make my art have a little bit more simplicity, or a little bit more plants and just different kinds of elements to it to make it look nice. And I also want to create art so I could be proud of it, because a lot of the artwork that I have been creating, just the doodles, were not speaking what I wanted them to speak. So I'm just working on that, and also working on taking my time on it. And I want to work on darker color schemes too for skin color, because I think I do tend to make my character light, because I'm light, so I kind of just make my characters have my skin complexion, but I want to do different skin complexions and be fair and equal, if that makes any sense. But I just want to talk about this piece and stuff. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, all that jazzy stuff in the description. And I guess I'm about to be finished. I don't want this video to be too long, but thank you for watching. CKnightley out.